Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Aditya Sisodia, also known as Coach Sisodia. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, depending upon which time zone you are in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm a professional coach and I support individual in the domain of health, wealth, business, relationship, career, you name it. And the concept of stories of opportunity is centered around bringing in those individuals who are self-made individuals who are making an impact in the community. In our today's episode, I have got a very young, dynamic yoga practitioner. Her name is Oshin Satija. I'm not going to tell much about her, but rather I'll show you something before I introduce Ocean. And please make sure this is an interactive session because if you are tuning in live with us, you have joined us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So, with this, I would love to show you about our speaker of the day, Oshin Satija, after which I would be sharing few words and inviting her on the dais. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw some of the glimpse of our speaker of the day, Ocean Satija, Ocean has got an experience of over 16 plus years in the domain of holistic wellness. She has been a yoga instructor. She was one of the four demonstrators who presented on the very first International Yoga Day of India at Rajpath in 2015, and she was highlighted across it. In addition to that, she's also the co-founder of a technical event company by the name of Linking Group, where she contributes towards promoting indigenous art and artists. More than that, Ocean has supported and delivered a lot of corporate wellness workshop to name few of her clients, but not limited to Cipla, Ford, Apollo, Deloitte, Max, MSL Group, and many others. In our today's conversation, Ocean would be sharing the secrets of mudras or the yoga poses and how it can benefit, be it ergonomic lifestyle, be it aerobics, or any other part. Without further ado, let's connect with Ocean. So, hi Ocean, how are you?
Hi, thank you for having me here. I'm very well.
So, Ocean, uh, I would request you to please share a bit about yourself, like what really inspired you to enter into this field, and also please touch upon your what should I say, your academic background and your professional journey, because I deliberately kept it a secret from our audience because many people would be inspired after listening to your life changing journey, like how you took the leap of faith, how you decided that it's important to practice what you admire and what you believe in. So over to you, Ocean.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you for the wonderful introduction that you gave me. And along with that, yes, since you asked me to give a brief introduction, so I have been connected to yoga since I was in class 5. I have been practicing since then. And earlier it was just another activity of school. And then one thing led to another, and I started playing games of yoga. So I have been a national level player as well. And I continued to pursue it even in my senior years of schooling, like in 10th and 11th, 12th, and thankful to the very support of my parents, of my teachers, of my school, because without them I wouldn't have been able to pursue it, as I had seen for a lot of people around me. One, that yes, they question whether and how much would it affect them academically, and second, how much the parents or the students and or the teachers think that it will affect the academics of the child, since class 10th and class 12th is considered to be very important years of our education. So thankfully, with their support, I still pursued it. And now came the time for me to actually think whether I want to pursue yoga or I want to take anything else in my life. So I've always been blessed with a mentor in my life, and he guided me to. I have been bright in terms of academic as well. So he guided me that if you're capable of more, then pursue the higher side, and you can always come back to yoga, right? Nobody is taking that away. So that is why now comes to the fact, the information that you have been hiding, that I am an engineer by education. I have done my BTech in electrical and electronics for till 2016. And in the meantime, also, I continued my personal practice, and I continued doing a number of courses of yoga and taking classes alongside. And my life changed because of Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga, which gave me a platform, which gave me a chance to be a part of the International Day of Yoga as well, the first International Day of Yoga, 2015. And since then, I have grown and pursued my journey of yoga parallelly along with whatever else I have been doing. And from the past few years, I have now been dedicatedly committed to yoga, taking it up as a career. Otherwise, so to say, post engineering, I was placed in Infosys as one of the companies, which came for campus placement. So I was placed there. But again, I consider it thankfully my blessing and a privilege that because of the support that I had around me, I could take up the choice of letting it go and choose yoga and go into a startup, opening up my own ventures, thankfully, with a very, very cooperative partner. And touch wood, things have been working fine.
And one of the part which you missed in your introduction was also how you got funded and incubated by IMA. So please share a bit about that also, and a bit about linking roots.
So, Linking Roots was one of our first startup ventures, and it was committed to promoting the extracurricular activities and taking them up as profession in the coming years. And it is co-founded by me with a partner, Shubham. And Shubham Sharma, he looks after the technical, he's the technical lead of it. And yes, we were funded by Internet and Mobile Association of India, Government of Haryana, and we have been supported by them as well. So now, the most recent milestone that I feel that we have touched upon is the International Day of Yoga 2020. We managed to organize it online and have a participation of over 8.2 lakhs from across 17 countries, and distribute them certificates and certificate of appreciation for being a part of International Day of Yoga, despite the hard in terms and hard surroundings that we were going through, hard situations that we were going through given the COVID times. But yet, because of Ministry of AYUSH Yoga Certification Board, we were able to pull this event off successfully and continue feeling a little more normal with the International Day of Yoga celebration.
Amazing, amazing. So, Ocean, so we have compiled a set of questions from our viewers when we had shared your profile. So, here are a few questions which I would like to personally ask you, and I'll also display it. So, the first question, which is the most common question asked by all our viewers, is that why did you choose this topic for our today's conversation, which is Mudra and Pranayama, the unexplored gems of yoga? Please share a bit about this.
For this topic, I feel very personally for this because since the very last years and even till today, I feel that yoga has been perceived merely as asanas, merely as physical postures, and very highly thought of that you need to have great amount of flexibility to be a good yoga person. But unfortunately, we have only been stuck to the third level of yoga. If I speak from the perspective of Ashtang Marg or Patanjali Yoga, so it has been divided into 8 parts, right? Starting from Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, so on and forth, going on to dhyan, that is meditation, and samadhi, that is the highest level wherein you are one with your own self. So merely considering it as asana only makes me feel that we are losing out on the very essence of yoga, and that is meditation, and that is dhyan, samadhi. And by simply saying it that it's you need flexibility to be a good yogi, I really want to put a lot of light on that. That it's not true, and that is why I specifically chose mudra and pranayam. That pranayam is the next step after asana, that is lengthening of your breath, not even just merely control, but regulation of your breath, lengthening of your breath. Because in yoga, we do not measure the age as the number of years you have lived or the number of days you have spent on this earth, but of the number of breaths you take. And that is why there's a lot of focus on the fact of deep breathing, because deep breathing leads to longer duration of the breath, and hence, if you see, lesser number of breaths, and hence keeps you young till the very end, right? So pranayam is the very beginning of impacting your own self on the subtle level, shifting from the gross level of the physical body. And mudras are one of the most less talked about things, and one of the most powerful, potent, uh, weapon that we have. We have been blessed with this body by the Lord, and we have also been blessed with the by the Lord of how to heal the body, right? So, in a very quick fix, I would like to, convey a little bit more scientific backing on mudras, and that is that everything on this earth, including our body, is made up of five elements, as we know of fire, air, space, earth, and water, right? So is with our body. Now, each element is represented by our hands. Each finger represents one element each. Fire being the thumb, air being the index finger, space being the middle finger, and earth being the ring finger, and water being the little finger. And now, if we touch upon these points, the fingertips have a lot of energy. So we can actually modulate the excessiveness of these elements in our body, and we can modulate the less amount of elements in our body. And it's only this mere imbalance of the elements which leads to any sort of problem, issue, disease that we face, be it stress from the mental level to the very gross physical level. Talk about thyroid, talk about joint pains, talk about backache, anything and everything, it's all impacted by the imbalance of the elements. And once you figure that out, that which element is higher or lower in your body, you can easily balance them. So to balance any element, we touch the fingertips. To increase any element, we touch the base of that element. And to reduce, we touch the middle point of that element. And that is how we get a number of mudras. There are more than 100 mudras, right? But the base of all mudras remain these four, right? And by increasing, by balancing them, by decreasing them, and by two fingers, and we can go into details, as we go along. I can speak on it forever, because I am very close to it, and I have seen people impact their lives positively with the practice of mudra. And I have seen people, who are suffering with multiple issues, but because they are heavy or because they are not flexible, they feel that yoga is not for them. Mudra is something you can do anytime, any time of the day. Anyone can do it, whether you're young, you are old, you feel that you are not made for yoga, while watching TV, while walking, while on a flight, while in a car. You can do your mudras any time of the day. Yes, the one thing probably you'll have to compromise on is a little less of screen time, a little less of mobile, because you'll have to let go of it, right? So it's the easiest way and a very impactful way of affecting your body and understanding your body better.
Mhm. So, like if you had to show a very brief demonstration of a very simple mudra, because Shavik, one of our current live viewers from YouTube, has asked us, like, how can we use mudra to improve our mental clarity, energy, and overall health? So, I would invite you to please demonstrate something which any person can try out as a beginner when it comes to mudra.
Okay, so I'm going to use this opportunity to show you two mudras. Okay, One, based on the question that you asked, and since you are live, I would also like to ask you something and give you a mudra which is more suitable and appropriate for you, right? So, okay, the mental clarity, energy, and overall health. So, there is one mudra called the Pran Mudra. Now, I'm going to bifurcate this one, mental clarity and energy and overall health. Okay, so for mental clarity, there is Gyan Mudra. Okay, Gyan Mudra is formed where the very first, most basic, and something I'm sure you must have practiced anytime in your school years as well, and that is basically your index fingertip with your thumb, right? This forms the Gyan Mudra with both the hands, right? When you do the mudra with the right hand, it impacts the left side of your body. And when you do the mudra with the left hand, it impacts the right side of your body. So doing the mudra with both the hands with deep breathing impacts you in the and gives you the most benefits. Even though if you do not have the dedicated time to do it, yes, it will help you. But the maximum impact can be seen when you practice with both the hands and with a little bit of deep breathing, right? So Gyan Mudra. Now Gyan Mudra, I would also like to convey a little science behind it, and that is that your index finger refers to your mind, right? And your if I talk in terms of a little bit on Hindi, it's like your buddhi and your man. So man is a very chanchal state. It jumps from one place to another, one thought to another. When you're doing something on ABC, you want to do XYZ, and when you're doing XYZ, and then it wants to go back to doing the ABC, right? So it's called the monkey mind, if you might have heard of the term, which keeps on jumping on one thing or the other, and it cannot ever settle or be satisfied with something, right? Now, buddhi is the intellect that we have. Buddhi is the decision making faculty that we have, which helps us take the sane, right decisions towards our life, right? Now, when this man is directed or run by the buddhi, then we are able to lead the life in the best manner. And this is what this mudra does to us. It brings a lot of calmness to the man, and it helps to follow the clarity of the buddhi, which bases its decision on the past experiences that we have, on the knowledge that we have, right? And when the man acts as per the buddhi, we are able to lead our life with a better clarity, right? So this, when you do it with deep breathing, this completes the circle of our energy, and it helps to save the energy internally, and hence it also acts in helping you increase the energy level of your body, right? As you might have seen, me being from electrical background, I feel that a current can only pass through a wire when there is a closed loop, right? If there's any break, then the current will not follow. And similarly, this is like completing that wire loop, right? This is like completing that energy circle, and then the current tends to flow within our body, right? So this is something that you can do for all the three of these things: mental clarity, energy, and overall health. Now, the second mudra that I would like to give you is the Pran Mudra. Given the COVID times, given the fact that we live in cities where there's a lot of pollution, where the quality of food is being impacted, where we do not know at times when to eat healthy, and sometimes forced by the situation and the need, we are forced to eat outside, our immunity levels are gradually decreasing. So, this one mudra is basically for your immunity, and that's called the Pran Mudra, which is bringing your ring finger and your little finger together with the tip of the thumb, and your middle finger and your index finger straight. Okay. Whenever you do any mudra, the other three fingers will remain straight, which are not engaged in the contact. The other mudras will remain straight. So in Gyan Mudra, these three will remain straight, and in Pran Mudra, the first two fingers will remain straight, right? So Pran Mudra, as the name suggests, adds a lot of prana in your body. Pran is the vital force, the energy in the body, something that runs the body exactly as it should. I mean, if you come to see of it, all the body is being run by the involuntary actions. Our life is probably being run by our actions that we think we choose, but the body is being run by all the involuntary action: your heart beating, your digestion, your blood circulation, your oxygen and carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide, and the lung process of purifying the air, constantly spreading it to each and every cell of your body. To that extent, everything is being run automatically inside. Now, there's an energy that runs it all, and that is the prana or the vital force or the bioenergy that we have. And this pran mudra helps to increase that energy. Both the mudras can be done any time of the day other than 30 minutes of intake of food. There's only one mudra that should be done that can be done after intake of food. But other than that, all the other mudras that we speak of should be done 30 minutes after the intake of food. And secondly, these two mudras can be done for a period of 45 minutes every day, right? 45 minutes, we feel that it's too long, but well, you watch a movie for 2.5 hours, you watch one probably episode of a series, and you do not realize that 40 minutes, 50 minutes have passed away, right? So 45 minutes of both these mudras, Gyan Mudra and Pran Mudra. You can do it in 15 minutes thrice a day also, that's equally good. 45 minutes is slightly more helpful, but if you can't, then 15 minutes thrice a day. And you should feel the impact of it within a month, 45 days. And I think that should answer your question.
Amazing, amazing. So, Ocean, I'll be asking you a very basic question. Please share a bit about breathing, because
Okay.
not many people are aware that you need to do breathing from your belly. Many people, if you'll observe, they do breathing from their chest. And
Yes,
personally, I
that's
was
right.
guilty of practicing this unless it was highlighted to me by one of my mentors that just visualize and just observe yourself. How are you breathing? So, can you also please guide the people? Because I know it's all about breathing when you get an anxiety attack or a panic attack, or breathing is something that helps you to conquer your belief, conquer your fear. So I'll encourage you to please shed a light about what is the proper way to breathe, because not many people are aware about how exactly to breathe, whether to breathe through nose or through mouth, what is the meaning of deep breath, how exactly to regulate your breathing pattern. I'll humbly request you.
Thank you for giving me this chance, because this is something that, how much ever time I have or not, in every workshop, I feel this is one thing I really touch upon as well. So there are two things that, again, we would do in this. First is the technique of right breathing. And second is a little bit a sense of awareness that you can say that you need to have with your breath. When you are in a calm state of mind, in a pleasing state of mind, in a happy state of mind, your breathing is going in one rhythm. When you're in anger, when you are in fear, when you are in anxiety, your breathing follows a completely different pattern. And if you come to see, your breathing is much deeper in a relaxed state. Now, if you say when you sigh, when you are finally done with a very long, stressful day, and you, towards the end of it, you finally sigh, that's like you finally breathed, right? So when you are in a comfortable state of mind, it reflects on your breath. When you are in an uncomfortable state of mind, it also reflects on your breath, since your breathing becomes fast and shallow, right? At times while we are crying, we feel that we are not able to catch breath, right? Now, the beautiful part or the magical part about pranayama or your breathing is that since your breathing reflects what's going in your head, similarly, you can control what's going in your head, vice versa with your breath. So if you relax your breath, you can easily say, it can help you settle down the chaos that's going on in your head, right? If you feel that your breathing is going out of alignment, then you can bring it back into alignment, and you can see the impact, the direct impact towards the mind, towards the brain that it has, right? Now, coming back to the right technique of breathing, or the very first step of regulating your breath is to first know how you actually breathe. Now, I would request everyone who is live with me to take a long and deep breath in. Now, I want you to observe how your chest and your stomach moves as you deeply inhale and exhale. One final time, I want you to inhale and open your eyes, and as you exhale, lightly close your eyes. Keep one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach. Keep your eyes closed and continue to deep breathe. As you inhale, your chest should rise up your stomach should go out. As you exhale, your stomach should go in, your chest should slightly fall. Continue breathing and observe. Do not press your chest or your stomach with your hands. Keep your hands on your body merely as a sense of awareness of how the breathing is impacting the internal movement of your body. Take one final long breath in and exhale out. Lightly open your eyes and relax. Now, for the ones who were able to feel their breath the right way, the way I explained, with your stomach and your chest rising with inhalation and falling with the exhalation, perfectly fine. But for the ones who probably realize that it's the opposite way that's happening, that your chest probably is coming out, but your stomach is tending to go in, right? That is one because the breathing pattern is not falling the right way. Your breathing is only going till your chest level. It should go further deep till your belly, as Aditya sir said, as you might see when a child is born, when a child is breathing, and the child is in a deep state of sleep, you can see the movement of the stomach. Right now, and if you want to go back to the same blissful sleeping or blissful state of mind, you need to breathe from your belly. Right. So, in case you feel that your stomach is not coming out as with inhalation, intentionally put an effort to bring your stomach out as you inhale, right? Keep pressing your stomach in as you exhale. Keep pressing it further. Keep tightening your stomach as you exhale. And when you inhale, intentionally try and throw your belly outward. And then try and repeat that a number of times within 5 to 7 cycles. Within 5 to 7 cycles of your breathing, your body will start to adapt to inhalation and the stomach going out, right? For the ones who go to the gym for keeping themselves fit, for following a healthy routine, I do not have any hard feelings towards gym as well. It's of course it's a personal choice of which regime you choose for your own health and well-being. But with gym practitioners, it's been observed that we are used to breathing of the chest, right? If you are the ones who have been practicing gym probably can vouch for this, that their breath doesn't go till the navel center, and their breath returns from the center of their chest, right? So especially for the ones who are planning to join gym, keep a check on your breath, right? See that your inhalation and exhalation is aligned with the body cycle and doesn't change over time with the practice of gym, because in gym we want the arms to be higher, we want the chest to be out, and that is why the way we breathe, it keeps shortening itself up and it only goes to the chest, which is one reason again why the chest feels and tends to come out over time with the gym practicing, right? And that is why you might feel that even if anybody is healthy, right, if they're breathing right, if they're breathing deep, they will not have a very tight stomach. They will not have it inward. A very light coming out of belly will you will feel, right? As probably our dadis used to say, कि पेट आगे है तो एक healthy इंसान की निशानी है, right? So that's not just because of the food or eating right, but also because of breathing right.
Okay. Now, another question which I have, and it's a very controversial question. It has been asked by Sai, and Sai would like to understand from you: has the principle of yoga been diluted, considering how common it has become? Because there are so many ads.
Um,
Learn yoga in 5 days over WhatsApp. Watch this video. But it's becoming very much commercialized, and like one of the points which you previously touched upon, like one of your biggest milestone was taking your yoga practice online. So don't you feel it is getting diluted because there is a dichotomy between it, like having someone in front of you who can just put hands on your shoulder and tell you observe your breathing, versus watch this video on YouTube and you will learn everything. Just see this message on WhatsApp and you'll learn everything. So what are your thoughts around this?
So I feel, firstly, I will touch upon the fact of dilution of the concept and principles of yoga over time. Yes, I feel you were from where you are coming from. I feel that too. and not merely from the perspective of taking online classes, but more from the perspective of marketing of yoga, from the perspective of calling it aqua yoga, calling it power yoga, calling it any other form of yoga that you might have heard over time, right? Desk yoga also, and a lot of other multiple names that we call it, right? Now, yes, I would really want to tell you that do not fall for the jargon. At the end, yoga is one and only yoga, right? At the same time, having said that, I strongly feel that something is better than nothing. If probably that somewhere you have to play a marketing tactic to get the audience inclined towards the program, it's fine. You know, get a taste of it, get a glimpse of it, get a glimpse of the peace or the calmness it gives to you. Probably a a fun session of balance yoga, dance yoga, beverage yoga, desk yoga can increase the curiosity factor and make you want to connect to it, because again, for it's a myth, it's a notion in a lot of young people's generation's head that yoga is boring, yoga is for the old, and probably I think it has come up, and people are finding ways to market it so that we connect to it in one way or the other, right? So yes, do not fall for the jargon. Connect to the real self, connect to your own self. But it's fine to throw a little bit fun factor into yoga to increase the curiosity so that at least people come in and join, right? Now, coming to the point of online yoga, and yes, taking a personal class, to taking a personal class over any comfortable platform, online platform, Zoom, WhatsApp, however. So it's different. Yes, I will not deny that. But at the same time, even for me, if we are taking personal classes or we are taking corporate classes, we are only verbally directing. It's very less that we come in contact with the person, because I really feel that we have our own energy. And what personally I and my team tries to do is that we make the other person aware of their own energy, right? Their own alignment of the body. Me helping the person, twist the back a little more the right way, I can do that probably once while I'm there. But if I request people and if I ask people to make yoga a lifestyle and practice it regularly, then that person really has to become more aware of their own sense of energy, their own sense of alignment. And at the end, when you twist with you push yourself for that one extra twist by your own self, that is going to go much longer way than me helping out the person physically, right? So that is where my aim begins, and where my classes and my whole aim of the class is, the motive is to make the other person become more aware of their breath, of their energy, of their alignment, that towards the end they are able to do it and they are able to follow it by their own self. Because not every time you will, I even don't recommend, while taking, let's say, group classes on a studio, we all have, those large mirrors, beautiful mirrors. It's an amazing environment to take that class. But having done that as well, we have also experimented with blindfold yoga. We have experimented with yoga with your closed eyes, with facing the other way around on the mirror, that today we are not going to see the mirror, today we are not going to correct ourselves looking at the mirror, but rather feeling that where the stretch is coming, where the expansion is coming, where the stretch needs to come, and doing it with your closed eyes. And that is why, even if we are in a group class, I feel we are all on a personal individual journey. And that's one thing I would convey to the ones who are probably doing a group class. Do not compare your practice with your teacher's practice, or your practice with your neighbor's practice, right? It's always better to go one step ahead of where you are standing in yoga or in life.
Amazing, amazing. That was great. And the reason I was smiling was like what you mentioned was idea is to market the practice. Like I've also heard about beer yoga, goat yoga, pool yoga, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. I must try that. So, and I really appreciate the way you mentioned. Just be curious, go and learn from it. Like, what exactly is the intention? It would be a fun-filled activity, and it would be an experience. So I hope,
Yes.
Sai, that answers your question. Now, next question
Yes.
which we have is from Nitish. And Nitish says, what is your opinion regarding inclusion of Ayurveda and yoga in management protocol for mild cases of COVID-19?
It's amazing. I feel it's amazing. I feel that yoga is one preventive method of taking care of your body, and secondary, it comes as a therapeutic method, right? So, as I always like to give this small example, that when you are in a sorry, when you are in a chaotic situation, at that time, if you feel that with a click overnight you will balance yourself back into your, with the help of yoga you will balance yourself back and you will not be stressed, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen, right? It's only when you continue to practice it, you will be aware as when you are, about to fall prey to a chaotic situation. And if only you have had been practicing while you were healthy, while you were in the right state of mind, you will be able to take it up better in the state where you actually need it, right? Probably I can give you an example of from Munna Bhai MBBS, where Baman Irani keeps laughing when he's angry. It's because he's directing his mind to, and he has to keep practicing that every time, right? He has to keep practicing that so that when he really needs it, that he shouldn't blast off in a very pressuring situation, he should be able to do it, right? So it all starts from very small steps. And Ayurveda and yoga, both when done parallelly, are extremely complementing to each other. And if from the very beginning your immunity is better, if you have a better shield around your own body, yes, the chances of you catching COVID cases, you catching COVID, is reduced very much. So there has been there have been a lot of research and science going on, wherein we are coming up with the fact of what are the particular asanas that can actually help you increase your immunity, help you reduce your stress level, because again, one of the major cause of a lot of issues that we have in our body is stress, and that makes us more vulnerable towards COVID, right? So I agree towards the inclusion of Ayurveda and yoga and management protocol, and management protocol of mild cases of COVID-19, because yes, our kara has been saving us. So I mean, taking care of your own self before hand, in keeping your
Hmm.
immunity level in place, I agree that it can help reduce the chances.
Amazing. Now, Shavik has mentioned this thing, like especially with our millennial generation, and even with adult, like you must have seen the documentary or heard about it, the social dilemma. The devices, the programming has been done that they play on our conscious and our subconscious, and we are hooked to our devices. We have got this strong sense of absence in life. So, how can yoga help us to be more present, be it in terms of meditation or anything? And how can yoga help to practice a healthy lifestyle amid all this distraction? Because, like Ocean, I'm really happy to share, like, I have personally seen you doing so many things, and it is quite commendable. And I feel somewhere yoga has been a biggest contributor to your notable achievements. What are your thoughts on this?
So, well, yes, yoga has played a major role in my life, in my personal journey. And while I used to, this reminds me, while I used to pursue yoga in school, people used to ask me, how is it benefiting you? And honestly, I'll not lie, I used to be like, I don't know, because I'm just doing it, I'm practicing it, and I like doing it. I like going for the nationals, it's an exposure and everything. But it's only later I realized that why I did not feel, how and why, in what ways yoga is impacting me, because while we are in a school life, we are not much affected by stress. So when we didn't have it, we were exposed to it, and that's why I really feel that students at an early level in school should be exposed to yoga, because again, like I said in my previous answer, when you practice it over time, then you are able to balance yourself when you really need it. So yoga has always been my personal backup plan, that, okay, I know I can fall off routine. I'm just human. I can stay up late because I have work. Probably I'm out, so my nose tends to get blocked and everything. But having the support of yoga, having the knowledge of yoga, having the understanding of my body, of how my body reacts to what situation, has really helped me balance back the energy that I lose, right? So if any day, if any 1 week, it's very hectic, any 1 month, which is very hectic, it takes us very less time to come back into our own settled place. So yes, yoga is my go-to, is my savior, because amid all the classes that we take, and yes, making my passion and my love for yoga as work at times can get stressful in its own way, because we don't tend to get time for our own personal practice, and we tend to miss on that as well. But we always know that we can come back to it, right? So having that power within ourselves is a very big, mentally, it's a very big support that my body is listening to me. And for that, I really need to listen to my body. I really need to respect the boundaries of my body. It is a two-way street. So that is how yoga has impacted me over the time, since my school to my college to balancing my work life. And touchwood, I mean, it has only impacted me in a positive manner in terms of my academics as well. I have been both ways active. I have been active in sports as well. I've been active in terms of education, academics as well. So it has only complemented it, not just that it's yoga, so it has complemented it. One very major thing with yoga is that whatever you might be doing, right? You might be playing basketball, you might be into art, you might be into dance, you might be into academics or football or anything, right? Practicing of yoga will only help you improve furthermore in whatever you are pursuing in your life, right? So it's not that it's for the ones who like to be calm and cool, and for the ones, okay, that's not my sport or that's not my go-to. But that's, like I said, it's not merely asana. If even if you don't have the flexibility, pranayam, mudra, meditation, all these are just another synonymous names of yoga, and they will only help you mentally, as Shovik has asked initially, mentally give you a better clarity of your life, of your own thoughts, which always helps you furthermore improve in your life from wherever you are, whichever stage you are at.
Amazing, amazing. So we'll go on a short, quick 30-second break. And on the other side, we are going to learn as a beginner what yoga poses can you try. So a short commercial break from our side. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are learning and enjoying this session. From wherever you are tuning in, do comment us how is your experience, and we would love if you can share our channel and subscribe it, because it's your love only that helps us to bring in speakers who would talk to you about these thought-provoking changes about having an holistic lifestyle. So I'm bringing in Ocean back, and we are going to be addressing your question. So, Ocean, our next question is from Mr. Divya Sachdev. Okay. And he would like to understand what is the right and pretty much the important way for beginners to explore the journey of yoga. Because another thing which he has commented is, and which I know Divya also, he started directly with a headstand. So that is why, and for other people also, that rather than treating yoga as an adventure sport, what should be the basic thing that a person can do apart from meditation and breathing that would help them to elevate themselves?
Sure. So Divya, as you have asked, and as you have put more light upon the fact that you started with headstand, I would really like to comment on both of them. So the thing is, and I somewhere feel sad that I have to share it here because it's been 6 years since International Day of Yoga has been introduced, and every year there is something which is called as Common Yoga Protocol, right? Common Yoga Protocol is a set of asanas, standing, sitting, laying down, prone and supine postures that is on your back and on your stomach, along with pranayama and relaxation. It's a whole 45 minutes to 1 hour of practice, a very holistic practice. A lot of brains have been put into bringing up this common yoga protocol that is being practiced every year throughout the globe together on International Day of Yoga. And I strongly feel that that is your cue, that is your thread to begin the practice of yoga in the right manner. Whatever stage of your yoga you are at, whatever age you are at, common yoga protocol is the go-to routine that you should follow, that you should begin with for seeing the changes in your life. It is a very well thought protocol wherein they consider your immunity, your balance, your hormonal balance, your health of your spine, your at the same time your breathing, what are the basic pranayams, how they should be done. You can find multiple PDFs, Hindi, English, 32 languages. You can find it on the website of Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga on Ayush Ministries page. So you can find a PDF in multiple languages on the website of it. You can find video of it as well on YouTube. And I have been lucky enough to be a part of that common yoga video, the first common yoga protocol that was introduced. We had shot at Isha Foundation, Chhatarpur farmhouse there. We had shot it, and it was spread out all throughout the globe. It's CDs and hard copies, soft copies, and it was a very well thought protocol. I personally felt, and a lot of brains and thought has been put into it to bring it up. Now imagine, I mean, the audience coming from different cultures, coming from different age, and to put together the science and the vastness of yoga in 1 hour. So concluding that is the common yoga protocol is one of the most beautiful things, and you can find it anywhere and everywhere around you on the internet in any form that you like, and it's one of the routines that we do in International Day of Yoga, and that is why I was slightly sad that despite so much effort that every year has been put to spread the message of yoga, to spread the idea of beginning yoga, still common yoga protocol, it's one step at a time, reaching further ahead and ahead. And I really hope that probably through this video as well, it reaches more people and I'm able to add to the awareness of the common yoga protocol. And Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga in Delhi, the heart of Delhi CP Central Connaught Place. Every Saturday now it's slightly stopped, but they're still doing it online, and I'm sure they're also planning something big again for International Day of Yoga 2021. So they offer free practice, group practice together with the very experienced instructors from Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga, where you can practice the common yoga protocol together with the experienced instructors, and get make yourself healthier, right? So Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga has played a vital role in my journey of yoga as well. And I feel the instructors there, the teachers there are very humble, very well, very knowledgeable. And it's a government institute and it's run by Ministry of AYUSH. And it's one of the most renowned and credible institutes amongst others in India, backed up by WHO as well. And the charges are nominal, and especially when you compare the amount of knowledge that you get, because in today's day the courses of yoga are extremely expensive, the teacher training, the foundation course, the 6 month course, and Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga offers so much at bare minimum cost, I feel. And that is why, and that is the reason that they do is because at the end, the aim is to spread the message of yoga to each and every individual. And they have foundation course, 10 days course, 1 month course, 3 month course, 6 month course, diploma. And you can take your pick and you can go to the website and know more about it probably. But yes, that is one thing that I would really want people to know, and that is the common yoga protocol if they want to begin their journey of yoga.
Excellent. Even Nitish commented that after this live session, he's going to go and follow you and he's going to find out what are the correct poses. So we have a question from Nitish. Nitish is a athlete. He runs, he does gymming. And Nitish has a certain bodily movement when he meditates in lotus and he gets this prick, pins and needle issue, and sometimes it hurts him a lot. Physically it hurts him a lot sitting in a asan. So how can he make yoga a healthy practice and club it along with his gymming? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I feel there are two questions around here. One is that you feel certain discomfort while meditating in lotus pose, and second is how you can take yoga as a routine along with gym, right? So, yes, answering your first question, lotus pose. So, while you are meditating, right, you can sit in any comfortable pose, right? Some which we call as sukhasana, right? The only thing you have to ensure is that you're sitting with your spine straight, right? If your back is not straight, if your back is not comfortable, and then when I say straight, I do not mean arched, right? So there is a very major difference in your back being straight and being arched, right? In the effort of wanting to sit straight, a lot of times we actually arch our back. So the idea is not to put your back in discomfort. The idea is to have your back straight and firm and relax shoulders and arms, right? Sukhasana, you can sit in lotus pose, you can sit in Vajrasana, you can sit in Ardha Padmasana, right? And you can even sit cross legs if you like, right? So if your back is straight, then this discomfort will start to reduce. And I don't know if you're following some pranayam to enter into meditation or you're simply sitting by yourself, but I really hope that this small thing, this small check for yourself helps you out. And as far as yoga being followed as a routine with doing gym, while doing gym, I think not just gym, but even if you are following a running routine, because we have a very beautiful culture of marathons now, and people are running. There's a very large community of runners as well, and it's a beautiful way. So I feel again, whether you are gymming, whether you're running, whether you're playing any sport to get yourself fit, yoga can always complement your flexibility, your willpower. I feel that marathon, it's not just your physical strength, a lot of your mental strength that plays a role in it. So yoga can help in multiple ways of that. So you can practice yoga probably anytime, after your gymming routine or before your gymming routine as well, if you want to practice it on a physical level in terms of warm up, or in terms of settling down, in terms of stretching, you can take up yoga. And if as a lifestyle, if probably you have to add it up, I think you can do some pranayam the first thing in the morning and the last thing that you do before going to sleep on your bed, right? So sleeping with a calm mind really helps to reduce the chaos that you might enter into the next day, right? It prepares to do the closing of today's day, and it helps you have a beautiful and a positive opening of the next day. So I strongly recommend pranayam to be done the first thing in the morning when you start your day, and the last thing in the day when you close your day. I hope that has
And
answered your question, Nitin. Thank you.
there is a follow-up question from Nitish. Nitish just mentioned this. Every time I'm trying
Okay.
to meditate and visualize, I get a lot of thoughts, and it's difficult for me to center myself. And this is actually one of the common challenges because in my coaching practice also, as I begin with a centering activity, and it's very difficult for people who are not a normal meditation practitioner to center their thoughts. So according to you, what is the best practice to center your thoughts so that you are able to visualize and focus?
Okay. So the thing
Mhm.
is, don't fight it. Okay. Don't fight it. In the simplest of terms that I can say, don't fight it. It's all right. It's one of the, if it's happening, I'll say it's a good thing to begin with. First, because at least you are aware on the first level that you are having too many thoughts. It means that you are not flowing with the thoughts, or even if you are flowing with the thoughts, with the trail of thoughts that leads one to another, you are still at some point or the other, you become observant that, oh shit, I have lost it. Oh no, I have, I'm no more in that, I am no more thought free. I am still thinking, that my brain is still active. I'm not able to center, where I have lost the trail of centering myself, right? But that is also because you, somewhere or the other, your awareness came into picture. Keep catching on to that sense of awareness. Keep catching on to that glimpse of awareness. Do not fight the thoughts that are coming your way. Let them come. Rather, observe your thoughts, right? Observe your thoughts, whatever is coming them. See them as the waves in the ocean, right? Going on the surface, but try and stay connected to the base of the ocean, which is stable in itself, right? So when you see the thoughts entering in your head, let them pass through your head like waves of the ocean and let them exit. And then probably another thought might enter that, oh my God, there are beautiful waves. Waves in thought waves that are going on in your head. It's all right. Observe that too. Observe the next thought too. And the more you observe, the more you will see that they start to dissolve. Or probably I will not give you any further ahead. I would want you to experience of how this small thing, this small activity of observing your thoughts can help you enter into meditation better.
Excellent. Thank you, Ocean, for having such an amazing interactive session. And I would like to thank all our audience who participated. So, Ocean, one last question. How can people reach out to you? And where are you most
Okay,
active on?
so so I am most active on Instagram. I unfortunately I do I am a little bad, in keeping up with my social media at times. So if I'm on Instagram, thankfully Instagram and Facebook is connected. So whatever I'm doing on Instagram is going on Facebook as well. But I mean, at times I tend to lose out touch. But Instagram is one place I am most active. Yes, and yes, I have a YouTube channel as well, Yoga with Oshin. I'm there on LinkedIn. I'm there on Facebook. On Facebook, I have two pages. I am there by the name of Oshin Satija, and I am there by the name of Yoga with Oshin. And Instagram, as Aditya sir is scrolling, you can find me again by the name of Yoga with Oshin. And otherwise, you can reach out to me over mail as well, ocean@linkingroots.com, or a DM should be good.
Amazing, amazing. So, and we are having a lot of comments from our viewers. Like Shavik is saying, "Thank you, ma'am, for sharing such an amazing learning," and then thank you, sir, for taking this beautiful session. So, Ocean, just last two questions from today's side. Uh, so there seems to be some technical glitch, ladies and gentlemen. Ocean has uh, just dropped out. So let us wait for her. Okay. So Ocean is back with us. Just a minute. We are.
Sorry about
So Ocean, we are getting a lot of compliments from our viewers. So Ocean, just last two thoughts from you. What is your message to young aspiring professional regarding message in life? Why am I saying? Because our this entire series is based upon stories of opportunity. And like one of the points which you had personally shared with me, that after completing your engineering, you had got an opportunity to join Infosys and you had cleared the campus round, but you decided to follow the unconventional path. You raised your startup, you even raised funding from it, you even did many international operation, and then you also transition into this. And I still remember like 2 years back when we were having a conversation and I was encouraging you, Ocean, aim big, go in for the corporate. You have really come a long way. So, Ocean, what is your message to the people out there who would like to live their dream? Because entrepreneur journey, doing a business is not easy. So, what is your thought around it before we wrap up our session?
That is absolutely right. It's not always all the way rainbows. There's a lot of rain in between as well. But yes, for me personally, I feel I have been blessed with a lot of personal support around me, and which has given me this chance that I could follow the unconventional path, that I could shift my journey despite being an engineer. And because of that support, I could take that lead on. But I feel to give a word of inspiration, word of advice to the young generation, young professionals, that even if you do not have that support, but somewhere you have a spark within you, somewhere you connect with yourself on something which probably the world doesn't connect with you, stick to that, right? A time will come where you can take that leap. I understand it's a money driven world and you need to fill your pockets, and that is why I would not suggest you to ignore your professional life all the way through, but with a little more planning. And the one thing where I feel that we give in or we give up is once we enter into the conventional path, right? We tend to get lost. And it's easy to get lost because our time routines, our time windows for finding time for ourselves have become very difficult, right? We have our parents, we have our relatives, we have our friends, our social circle, our personal circle. Everything requires our time, along with the work, of course, something that we are constantly trying to achieve further and furthermore in. But giving time to everything, I would say give time to yourself as well. When you give time to yourself, you come back to thinking to yourself of what you want, what you like, how can you take it ahead, how can you contribute and keep that small thing alive within you with the small steps in everyday life, right? So, spending time with yourself is extraordinarily important. And yes, yoga is one way to do that. Whether you do it for 15 minutes a day, whether you do it 50 minutes a day or 2 hours a day, as per the amount of time that you find, I would say constantly keep coming back to yourself, keep spending more time with yourself, and do not get lost in the jargon of the world, right? For the money that we need and require, because gradually I feel there's this one day and one stage that comes in every young professional's life wherein they feel that okay, the basic amount of money is done. Now what? When we are in college, and I remember very evidently while placements were happening in college, we were concerned, yes, whether we'll be placed or not. And there were a lot of friends who were very anxious about it. So, and then 1 year down the line, we see each other, cribbing about what we are doing, right? For the same very thing that we were extraordinarily grateful or extraordinarily yearning for, that to have that thing in our life. So I would say that, keep that positivity intact in your life. Yes, keep coming back to it. And the second thing is to keep gratitude in your life for whatever that you have. Be grateful that at least you have a job, have a degree to crib about. Be it, it's a good problem, I'd just say, probably to say it more lightly, it's a good problem, having to, for people, who crib about having to pay high amount of taxes because of the higher tax slab. I think it's a good problem, right? You are making that much of money, you're living the life that you want. So, having a shelter over your head, having clothes on you, food on your table, having I strongly feel, I mean, when I see anybody who is, or when I myself, forget about anybody else, when I'm myself injured, if I have a sprain in my ankle, or probably if I've hurt my arm, I mean, when we have hurt ourselves, that is the time when we feel, the worth and the importance of a healthy body, right? So don't go to the extent of ruining your body and feeling, regretful about it. Rather be grateful for it and start to take care of it as and when you have. Be grateful for the 2 arms that you have, 2 legs that you have, the energy that you have, that you can actually take a step, one step further towards fitness and health of your life. I can understand we are, a lot of times we are, overweight, or we feel that, our stamina has gone down and anything. Do not let that moment pass away. When the first thought of you realizing that you are now losing on the health that you have, do not let that moment pass away. Take that very seriously, and, act on it. Act on it, and see yourself improve from there.
I would just like to add one thing, which I realized from my life personal experience, which my mentor taught me. Aditya, a happy person would like to have 100 things, and a sick person would like to have only one thing. And that one thing is your health. So if you take care of your health,
Yeah.
you can have everything in your life. So, Ocean, from the
Yeah.
bottom of my heart, I would like to thank you for joining us. And I would like to thank all our viewers who have supported us, because this live stream is a product of love. And this is my way of giving back to the community and supporting our individual, our professional in having a healthy lifestyle around their choices. So, thank you so much, Ocean, for taking out time.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much for everybody who is live and attending for all your beautiful questions. And it was lovely and it was an honor to be here. Thank you, Nitish. Thank you, Shobik. Thank you, Divya. Thank you, everyone who is here, whether you participated or not. But I'm really glad to be a part of this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, see you next week, because next week we have got a very amazing session which is around goal setting. And it's not only goal setting, it's goal getting. So, tune in, same time, same place. Adios.